The Law of One, Book 2, Part 1, Forward. On January 15, 1981, our research group started receiving a communication from the social memory complex, RAW. From this communication precipitated the Law of One and some of the distortions of the Law of One. The pages of this book contain an exact transcript, edited only to remove some personal material, of the communications received in sessions 27 through 50 with RAW. This material presupposes a point of view which we have developed in the course of our many years' study of the UFO phenomenon. If you are not familiar with our previous work, a reading of our book, Secrets of the UFO, might prove helpful in understanding the present material. Book 2 of the Law of One builds very carefully on concepts received during the first 26 sessions with RAW, which were published as the Law of One. We encourage you to read the Law of One first, if possible. Both books are available from us by mail. Book 2 of the Law of One concentrates on the metaphysical principles which govern our spiritual evolution as we seek to understand and use the catalyst of our daily experiences. A more thorough examination of the energy centers of the body and the connections between mind, body, and spirit is carried out, building upon information received in the first 26 sessions. We learn more about wanderers, the various densities, healing, and the many energy exchanges and blockages native to our illusion relating to experiences such as sex, illness, and meditation. The first 3 sessions of Book 2 may be difficult and confusing to anyone not familiar with the system of physics authored by Dewey B. Larson. Don't be discouraged, since Larsonian physics is far from well known. Just keep reading, and by session 30, you will be back on firm metaphysical ground. When you've finished Book 2, go back and take another look at the first sessions. They'll seem a lot clearer. For those who may wish to study Larsonian physics, The Structure of the Physical Universe is a good book with which to begin. On page 52, the questioner asks about an equation and does not use the classically correct form. In the physics of special relativity, the C2 term does not appear. Dr. Andrija Puharich received this form of the equation in his communication with the Nine, and therefore we felt it appropriate to present it in this form with the C2 term included precisely as it had been received by Dr. Puharich. The RAW contact continued for 106 sessions, which were printed into 4 books in the Law of One series. They are available at our local bookstore, from Whitford Press, or from us. If you wish to receive our quarterly newsletter in which the best of our current channeling is published, please request that you be put on our mailing list. Session 27, February 21, 1981. RAW. I am Ra. I greet you in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. I communicate now. Questioner. This session, I thought we would start Book 2 of the Law of One, which will focus on what we consider to be the only important aspect of our being. This, I assume, will be a much more difficult task than the first book. We want to focus on things that are not transient, and as questioner, I may have a difficulty at times. When I do have this difficulty, I may fall back on some transient questions simply because I will not be able to formulate what I really need, and I apologize for this. I will try my best to stay on the track and eliminate things of no value from the book if they do occur during my questioning. The statement I will make to begin with is, in this density, we tend to focus our minds on some transient condition or activity with little regard to its value or use as an aid or a tool for growth and understanding of the true and undistorted essence of the creation of which we are an integral part of. I will attempt by starting at the beginning of creation to establish an overview of ourselves in the creation, thereby arriving at a more informed viewpoint of what we consider to be reality. It is hoped that this will allow us to participate more effectively in the process of evolution. I would like to start with definitions of words that we have been using that possibly we have not and possibly cannot understand totally. But since the first words that we use are intelligent infinity, I would like for you to define each of these words and give the definition of their combination. Ra. I am Ra. Your vibration of mind complex indicates a query. However, your vibrational sound complex indicate a preference. Please restate. Questioner. Would you define the word intelligent in the context of intelligent infinity? Ra. I am Ra. We shall address the entire spectrum of this question before defining as requested. Your language using vibrational sound complexes can be at best an approximation of that which is closer to an understanding, if you will, of the nature of conscious thought. Perceptions are not the same as sound vibration complexes, and the attempt to define will therefore be a frustrating one for you, although we are happy to aid you within the limits of your sound vibration complexes. To define intelligent apart from infinity is difficult, for these two vibration complexes equal one concept. It is much like attempting to divide your sound vibration concept, faith, into two parts. We shall attempt to aid you, however. Questioner. It is not necessary to divide it. The definition of intelligent infinity is sufficient. Could you define that, please? I am Ra. This is exponentially simpler and less confusing. There is unity. This unity is all that there is. This unity has a potential and kinetic. The potential is intelligent infinity. Tapping this potential will yield work. This work has been called by us intelligent energy. The nature of this work is dependent upon the particular distortion of free will, which in turn is the nature of a particular intelligent energy of kinetic focus of the potential of unity or that which is all. Questioner. I would like to expand a little on the concept of work. In Newtonian physics, the concept of work is the product of force and distance. I'm assuming that the work of which you speak is a much broader term, including possibly work in consciousness. Am I correct? Ra. I am Ra. As we use this term, it is universal in application. Intelligent infinity has a rhythm or flow as of a giant heart beginning with the central sun, as you would think or conceive of this. The presence of the flow, inevitable as a tide of beingness without polarity, without finity, the vast and silent all beating outward, focusing outward and inward until the focuses are complete. The intelligence or consciousness of foci have reached a state where their, shall we say, spiritual nature or mass calls them inward until all is coalesced. This is the rhythm of reality as you spoke. Questioner. Then I think I have extracted an important point from this in that in intelligent infinity, we have work without polarity, or a potential difference does not have to exist. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. There is no difference, potential, or kinetic in unity. The basic rhythms of intelligent infinity are totally without distortion of any kind. The rhythms are clothed in mystery, for they are being itself. From this undistorted unity, however, appears a potential in relation to intelligent energy. In this way, you may observe the term to be somewhat two-sided. One use of the term, that being as the undistorted unity, being without any kinetic or potential side. The other application of this term, which we use undifferentiatedly for lack of other terms, in the sense of the vast potential tapped into the foci or focuses of energy, we call intelligent energy.